Hi everybody, I'm Jenny Erickson, a broker with Windermere Port Townsend. If you travel, and if you're at all like me, then you know there are towns that you travel to and never give a second thought to. And then there are places you visit that just make you stop, look around, and wonder what it would be like to live there. Port Townsend, Washington is one of those places. Now, as you know, I'm a buyer broker, and that means I help people who are considering moving to Port Townsend, Washington. And over the years, I've talked with lots and lots of people who've made the move, and I've discovered there are 6 reasons why this little town is such a big draw. Reason number 1, it's where the mountains meet the sea. Seriously, Port Townsend is drop dead gorgeous. It looks like a postcard. You've got the Olympic Mountains to the west, snow-capped Mount Baker and the Cascades to the east, and the Strait of Juan de Fuca in the north. So everywhere you look looks amazing, and the views are open and endless. This is the kind of place that it really gets under your skin. I mean, it's part of daily life, whether you take a walk on the beach or just sip your coffee overlooking the bay. This is the kind of place that just makes you look up, get away from your phone, and appreciate where you are. Reason number 2 is the rain shadow. Now, when most people think of the Pacific Northwest, they think of drizzly Seattle, and that reputation is very well earned. But Port Townsend gets less than half the rain that Seattle does. How is that possible? Well, Port Townsend sits in the rain shadow of the Olympic Mountains. It's a bizarre weather phenomenon that causes the clouds to literally run out of rain by the time it gets here. So we only get about 15 to 18 inches of rain a year. So that, coupled with no hurricanes, no tornadoes, super mild weather, means it's really, really conducive to getting outside and enjoying all that the Northwest has to offer. Reason number 3 is the history. Port Townsend, Washington is a place where the past is present. Victorian buildings line the downtown streets, wooden docks jut out into the water. It's almost as if it's a place that time forgot. When it was founded back in 1888, it was supposed to be the New York of the West, and today it is still recognized on the National Register of Historic Places. In fact, it's been called one of the most historically authentic places in the world. Reason number 4, creativity is part of the culture. Now, there are a lot of towns that say they support the arts. Port Townsend actually does. For decades, musicians, artists, writers, and craftspeople have been drawn here to attend workshops, performances, all kinds of activities and cultural events. But it goes beyond stage and studio. Creativity is really part of the fabric of everyday life. You can see it in conversations on the street. When you walk the galleries, there's an extraordinary number of galleries for such a small town. It really is part of the culture. So even if you don't consider yourself creative, I am pretty sure you're going to find Port Townsend inspiring. Reason number 5 is a different pace of life. If you're moving here from the big city, you'll really feel the difference. There's no real rush hour. You can get from one end of the city to the other in less than 10 minutes. But the biggest difference is that people stop and actually talk to each other. Farmers market, at the food co-op, you have meaningful conversations. So life's just a little bit slower. It's not a retreat from life, it's just a different pace. Reason number 6 is a little bit harder to explain. I call it community. People here tend to show up for each other. They show up for festivals. They show up for protests. They show up to help each other out and lend a helping hand. Parents say they always know what their kids are up to because their neighbors tell them, but in a good way. And people really appreciate it. Now, I've talked to lots of people who've lived here, and they tell me this is one of the most important things. And it's something they say they didn't even realize they needed until they came here. And I guess I would call it a sense of belonging. So there you have it, the 6 reasons more and more people are choosing to call Port Townsend their home. Of course, no place is perfect. Housing prices are high, job opportunities are limited compared to big metropolitan areas. But if you're looking for a place that's absolutely beautiful, has a sense of history, great weather, culture, and a sense of belonging, give me a call. I'm happy to help.